This video is all about adding value to your training. And a couple of different ways we're going to do that is we're going to be assigning a task that is useful in the way that we're going to be actually thinking about our technique a little bit more. There's a goal in mind for this particular task. And the second point is being, with this task, we're actually going to be able to track it. Therefore, for future references, whenever we come out and practice, we're able to document what we've done during this task, and we're also able to, with that, because we're tracking it, to actually go back and look and see what areas we need to improve on, how we're doing, if we're getting better, maybe we're making the game too easy, and there's certain things we can look at to just better enhance our training opportunities. So this task that we have set up is climb the ladder. So for the sake of this video, I've used some colored cones. That way we can see it a little bit easier on the camera's perspective. We recommend using either alignment sticks or tees probably work best, as they're probably the least invasive way with where your ball can land and where it finishes. So we have 5 different zones, and the zones are going to be specific to whatever length shot that we have. So for example, I'm about 45 feet away. So we're going to be using a percentage to help us determine how big the zone should be. We recommend using 15%. If you want to do either 10% or if you want to do 20%, you can certainly do that. I've used the 15% rule for this, being about 40 feet away. So each of these zones are 6 feet in length. So from this very first blue cone in front of me to that second one, that is my designated zone number 1. So it's 6 feet from that first cone to the second cone. So with this, how we actually climb the ladder is we're going to be first starting off at the closest zone to us. Our goal is to land a ball in that zone that finishes within at least 10 feet of the hole. So the hole is actually located in the 5th and the final zone for this task. And we have this set up to where roughly the hole is kind of right in the heart of that last zone. So about 3 feet short of that and 3 feet long of it for this particular shot. So you can give yourself a ball count on this. We recommend when you're first starting off with this, hit as many balls as it takes to land one in that zone that you're shooting for, and that finishes within at least 10 feet of the hole. So if I hit this first shot and it lands in that first zone and then stops within 10 feet of the hole, we've already accomplished that goal. We move on to zone 2 and repeat the same process. Our goal is to always have this ball finish at least within 10 feet of the hole. So as you can see, running through this drill helps with a few different areas of our short game. To graduate from one zone to the next, we're altering a couple different things in order to achieve that goal. So number 1, we're altering our speed because we're starting off at the closest zone. Therefore, having to add maybe a little bit of speed to hit it to the next one, and then so forth until we get to that final zone. We're also having to adjust trajectory as well. So as we get closer to that 5th and that final zone, in order to land the ball in that zone and have it finish within that 10 feet goal of the hole, we're going to have to use a different type of trajectory than what we're going to see for the first zone or maybe even the second zone as well. For these first couple zones, we can hit something that's running, something that's a little bit lower, maybe has a little bit of check on it. Whereas those later zones, we're having to toss something up there in the air a little bit more, having it land softly so we don't compromise that end goal of having the ball finish within 10 feet of the hole. So this is just one example of a training method you can employ into your practices to make them more valuable. It's trackable, you can always come back and revisit it, and it's also customizable. You can make these drills as difficult as you want or as easy as you want to. We recommend doing something in the middle. Maybe you track a few sessions of it, and when you get to a score of, say, under 10, we have 5 zones here, so we would be, a perfect score would be 5. If you do this pretty comfortably and you're scoring under 10 consistently, then maybe you pick a distance that's a little bit farther, maybe you make the percentage of the windows a little bit shorter, or maybe you have to finish it within a tighter window for the finishing point. So there's a lot of different options for this task, which is why it's one of our favorites, and we encourage all of our students to employ something like this into your training sessions.